Welcome to TFI Global, the antidote to mass delusion.
The solidarity between European powers like Germany and France and what on Kiev during the Ukraine conflict has been evident. However, a significant shift has emerged, notably between France and Ukraine. In what feels like a scripted breakup, France seems to be signaling an end to their partnership with Ukraine. The situation carries echoes of familiar breakup cliches, with France delicately conveying a desire to part ways. Reminiscent of a rom-com cliche, France is now murmuring, "It's not you, it's me," trying to sound sincere.
What happened? Something must have happened.
It's not you, it's me.
You're giving me the "it's not you, it's me" routine?
The air hung heavy with phrases lifted from decades of breakup movies as they exchanged well-worn sentiments like, "We are just on different paths now." France is now conveying an impression that after a period of engagement with Ukraine, it is politely signaling a desire to end the relationship and pursue a breakup. Paris is shifting gears in its approach toward Ukraine, signaling a change in strategy. Gaël Weisseret, the French envoy to Ukraine, revealed that instead of solely supplying equipment, Paris aims to bolster Kiev's own military industry. This shift comes after France's substantial military aid to Ukraine, including a range of weaponry valued at over 3.2 billion euros or $3.51 billion. Ambassador Weisseret emphasized President Emmanuel Macron's government's commitment to supporting Ukraine, but with a newfound focus on empowering its indigenous defense capabilities. Speaking with the radio broadcaster France Info, Ambassador Weisseret said the President Emmanuel Macron's government intends to continue its strategy of supporting Ukraine. It will gradually change its nature since the objective is to produce more weapons in Ukraine rather than proceeding solely through donations or purchases, Weisseret said, noting that it will take a little time for the policy to shift. Weisseret highlighted that 2024 ought to signify a pivotal year for Ukraine's arms production, stressing the necessity for greater self-reliance on domestically sourced resources. The French ambassador's comments echoed the line adopted by Washington over the past several months as the US and its allies depleted their stockpiles of weapons they could send to Kiev. The recent response to Kiev's request appears nothing short of a polite rejection, not to mention, since Russia's full-scale invasion of its neighbor in 2022, the US and its allies have sent Ukraine nearly $100 billion worth of ammunition, missiles, and tanks through the end of July. According to the Kiel Institute, a research group, the West is aiming to reduce Ukraine's reliance on Western weaponry, encouraging Kiev to enhance its domestic arms production. However, it's essential to note that establishing weapon and ammunition factories isn't a swift process. It will take considerable time. Essentially, the West shift implies a withdrawal of support, leaving Kiev in a difficult position. Despite France's polite refusal, it signifies a shift in support rather than a positive gesture towards Kiev's security. In recent days, Russia has been targeting Ukraine's military-industrial complex with heavy drone and missile strikes, specifically aiming at missile and drone production facilities and warehouses holding long-range missiles provided to Ukraine by the West. This retaliation followed a Ukraine missile strike on the Russian city of Belgorod, resulting in the deaths of 25 civilians, including children, and injuring 100 more. Some weapons supplied by Western nations were reportedly used in this attack. In response to questions regarding the Belgorod incident, Weisseret maintained that Ukraine was acting in self-defense. The French ambassador also acknowledged Ukraine's capability to fulfill President Zelensky's promise to retaliate against Russia. President Zelensky announced that Ukraine would produce 1 million Ukraine drones in 2024, and besides, Ukraine is not alone. It is held by friendly and partner countries who help it equip itself with military equipment, Weisseret said. The foreign aid tab for Ukraine seems to be running dry. Shockingly, countries are suddenly playing Scrooge, holding back aid as if they've run out of generosity coupons. Ukraine, in response, is pondering the radical idea of making its own artillery. Quite the plot twist, isn't it? But here's the cliffhanger. How long will this newfound craftiness take to kick in? Perhaps after Russia throws a victory party in Ukraine before this DIY artillery project even gets off the ground.